So, Insha, thanks very much for being here. For people who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Uh, hey Yannick, I'm really excited to be here. Uh, okay, so those people who don't know me, my name is Insha. I am a 20 years old web developer based in India. I'm currently working as a developer advocate at Dasha, which is a conversational AI as a service platform. Apart from that, I am a community manager and I'm creating content on Twitter. Yes.
Nice, nice. And so, tell us a little bit how you got started with Dasha.
Okay, it's all because of the Twitter, the online presence, and all due to the online presence. So like before joining the platform, I really had no idea about what development communities were, what developer advocate actually meant. I had no clue. I was like a novice who had no idea about all the stuffs. But like after joining the platform and building an effective online presence, you get exposed to a lot of opportunities that you would have never like think of. So it's all because of that.
And so, actually, you had something before Dasha. Dasha came on your path because of Twitter.
Yes. Before Dasha, I was not working somewhere, but I did an internship, and after that, I was mostly into content creation. Uh, yes, because of my online presence, we came in touch, and then then I joined the team, and it's going pretty well. The team is really good, and the stuff that we are building, I am really like excited about.
Nice, nice. So then let's back up a little. So, what kind of internship did you do, and when was that? What did you do? How did you land that internship?
Okay, the background, right? Uh, okay, so around 2019 November, I remember I started learning web development. It was the time like we were all locked in our home. The lockdown period was going on, and there was not much stuff to do actually. We were all bored binge watching. So like it was the time I decided to like people around me are doing really cool stuffs, doing productivity stuffs, and I am just sitting here on my couch and doing nothing. So I like kind of started learning, and there are like plenty of free resources.
Typical student.
Yeah, typical student, exactly. So like there are plenty of resources. We are not short of resources, so I just picked free code camp and started learning. My journey started from free code camp, and it was really good for
Nice.
someone who had no idea, and it was like from the basic step it takes you from zero level, so it was really good. Um, started posting few stuffs about what I learned, and via LinkedIn I got an internship. It was a paid internship, so I did a 6 month internship there. Had a good idea of industrial work. Actually, I was building great websites for the MNCs, and all the pretty stuffs were going really good. Since one day a colleague of mine asked me like, do you have a Twitter profile? And I was like, no, I don't have. And it was like I was not a socializing person. I was mostly into studies and my books and typical student that you call. So from there, like I made an account, landed to Twitter, and started discovering the different niche that of my interest. So the web development was my interest. So that's how I started on my Twitter journey. Followed some big accounts that were really putting out a good content, sharing knowledgeable stuffs. And after that, my timeline was like filled with uh, stuffs that were like out of reach. Exactly, I didn't know about any of those. Like uh on this is such a platform, like people are talking about their journey, about sharing what are the best practices. Like you also share best practices about what to do, how to do. And it is really good to have such people on the platform, like people who don't know anything and they just landed on the platform, and there are already a number of people talking about and sharing their insights. So Twitter is really good place to be.
Definitely, definitely. And so interesting. So you said that you were sharing things you were learning. Did you share it on LinkedIn first?
Yes, I had an account which is not active now. At that time, I was learning and I was like putting out stuff because I was not aware of the platform like Twitter. I was not aware what tech Twitter was. I just knew Twitter as something that political stuffs and all other things. So I didn't.
Donald Trump is
Yeah,
on.
like controversy stuffs I didn't knew about tech Twitter. So LinkedIn was the first platform, like I wrote anything on that platform. So via that I got an internship. Yes.
Cool, cool. And then so one of your colleagues said, "Hey, why aren't you sharing this stuff on Twitter?"
Right,
And
right,
then
right.
but before that on LinkedIn, you probably also got some engagement, got quite big or not, or how did that
No,
go?
I had some around 50 to 80 followers. It was really not that good. It was mostly I started that account just to like keep up with my timeline. Like I am consistently progressing, just to keep my check. Nothing else. Not for the content
Okay,
creation.
you started it for
Yeah.
yourself. Hmm, cool. But then in the end, you still landed an internship through LinkedIn.
Yes. Luckily, I got into an internship. Like it was a startup that was looking for people to join the company, and they one day they found a tweet of mine where I shared that I made a project, a basic project. Via that they reached out to me and they were like, this looks really good and we want you in our team. And I was like, okay, I had never been exposed to any such opportunities, why not, let's do this. So that's how like I got into that team.
Cool. Nice, nice. And so, what did you learn in the internship?
Okay, so basically, my purpose of joining it, I had really big expectations. Like I'll be learning stuffs, I'll be like learning all the soft skills and others. So what were the expectation didn't meet, and it was mostly what I learned from the internship was how to work in a team, like how to manage a team and all the team stuff, collaborating stuffs, and that it didn't like upskill my stacks that I was learning or any of my skills, but I learned how to like be be in a team and do collaborative work. So that's what I took from there.
But and so there was not a lot of guidance. You had to maybe teach yourself new skills, but it was interesting to be in an environment where you had to cope with others.
Right.
Cool, cool. Okay, and then so that took 6 months, but during that internship, you had one of your smart colleagues tell you, "Hey, why don't you start something on Twitter?"
Yeah, like when you are in a team, you like build sort of relationship, and if the relationship is really genuine, you'll be like having conversations, like growing, making money, getting more good opportunities and stuff like that. So it was a similar environment where like it was a startup, so I cannot expect that they'll be like guiding us from the zero levels. And I was someone like who had no prior experience. I was the youngest one in the team. So so I was like not having any experience, and so this was the scenario there. But the colleagues were really good. They were like motivating and helping you do the stuffs, even if like something is stuck, and they'll like reach out to you and do your leftovers, so stuff like that.
Cool. But then, so one of the colleagues mentioned, "Hey, you should go on Twitter." What did you do? Like, you knew about Twitter, but you were thinking, "Oh, this is only about politics. What am I going to find there?" How did you approach that? What did you do?
Okay, he was someone a part who is a part of like tech Twitter for long. Like he's also a consumer, and we are in touch. But so he like proposed that why don't you have join the tech Twitter community? And he asked me like, do you have a Twitter profile? And I was like, no, I don't have. Should I be on the Twitter? So he was like, yes, there's a tech Twitter, and he like showed me the platform, and I was kind of really impressed, and I was like, yes, this is the place I definitely want to be in.
Cool, cool. And so you created a profile. That was beginning of last year. It's just a year has passed, and you've already reached 50,000 followers.
Like I created an account in January 2021, but like I was not using it because someone just pushed me to be on the Twitter, but I was like not that aware of the platform and using it wisely. So around in the month of May, I like started using it.
Wow. Yeah, like, why did you decide to use it then? And yeah, in a matter of like 6 months time, you've really like you've grown tremendously.
Yes, this is a good question. I also ask this to me sometimes, like why I decided to join the platform. So like after creating the account, I kind of lost the motivation to be like learning, and it was like okay, I have done a lot. It's time to like be back on the couch and binge watch Netflix. So I kind of lost the motivation, but
Netflix and chill.
yeah, Netflix and chill. So I kind of lost the motivation, and I was back to my college work, and I was like my internship was over and I had nothing to do. So at that point around May I started, because I was left with nothing to do. My internship was over and I had a lot of spare time. So like how to utilize that time. So for that purpose I like kind of got back to the platform. Yeah.
Cool, cool. And like, did you start by first like consuming, or was the first thing you did was share a code snippet and said, "Hey, you can do this with I don't know what."
Oh god. Yes, yes, I started as a consumer. For almost a month I was being a consumer. I am like kind of introvert, extremely introvert. Right now I am like getting normal, but I am extremely introvert kind of person, like who doesn't even like slide in your replying or comment section. I'm that kind of person. So I was for almost a month just consuming the content from the tech Twitter, bookmarking people's tweets and reading them. People say that if you bookmark a tweet you don't go back to it and read it. I literally did. When I used to bookmark a tweet, I go back to that and read them, because I was a consumer and I kind of hesitated even to comment on any of the tweets. So that was the scenario. So I came across a hashtag that is really popular. That is 100 days of code. That is the challenge that I picked, and
Yeah,
yeah. So that was the phase that I started. I didn't share the code snippet, but it was like I shared my progress, everyday progress, like building projects, learning certain topics and sharing stuff like that.
that's cool. That's cool. And through that hashtag, a lot of people also search for it,
Yeah,
and so you have bots that retweet
right.
it. You have people that are just really active in that community. What happened when you started tweeting with that hashtag?
You are actually right. Like that post gets a lot of retweets by the bots. In terms of engagement, it was really low for me. Almost like I get 1 to 2 people actually see my tweet, and it was mostly retweets by the bots. So what I felt like even reaching to 20-30 days of my consistent progress, like people were not seeing it, and I was like, what am I doing? Should I be continuing it, or should I like drop it just because nobody even cares what I am progressing or what I am doing? So after that, I remember that I followed few of the people that are really big in tech right now. So I started like sliding into their comment section, and like whatever topics that I felt was of my interest, I started to add value to them. From that, I started to gain the attraction that my account needed at that time. And I really believe that if you engage
Yeah.
on a daily basis, you'll get a lot of people to like know you.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. So you didn't see a lot of engagement on the tweets that you used the hashtag on. Yeah, there were some bots automatically retweeting it, but other than that, nothing.
Nothing.
Crickets. And then who did you follow, and how did you start by sliding into the comments as an introvert?
Ah, okay. This is where my anxiety shoots up. Okay. I followed like a few people, and it should I name them?
Yes, please give them a shout out.
Okay, so I followed Danny Thompson, which played a great role in like transforming and motivation factor. I can consider him as a center of motivation for like I once saw a tweet of his only where he was like talking about taking up the 100 days of code challenge, and after that only I took up that challenge, and so I followed him from there. I followed Pratham, the CSS god. He makes CSS a piece of cake. I don't know how. Uh, I followed Nat, if you
Nice.
know Nat Militic, and a lot of other bunch of people that were really doing exceptionally well to the community. Uh, but I felt like following the right bunch of people really plays a great role in transforming your journey. So it played really well for me.
Nice. And can you recall a couple of your first comments? Like what did you reply to, and why that tweet, and what did you comment?
Okay, so like I don't exactly remember it. It is like 8 months back. How am I supposed to remember that? It
You're still young.
but still I like what could it be? Okay, I don't remember, Yannick. I really don't. Uh,
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No, maybe there was a couple of tweets that stood out that I'm really going to reply to this one because I just did this in CSS as well. I'm going to add my point of view to it, or I also created a project in this language. I'm gonna or this framework. Was it what kind of tweets did you start replying to? Was it like because of the similar framework or similar type of
yeah.
views or
I started like replying to people who were in my niche. Like, if I am learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, I tried to like engage with the people who were talking about that. So like Danny was talking about that, like Pratham was doing CSS, so I kind of like engaged with them. uh like I was learning CSS, and Pratham was sharing huge resources, steps, tips, cheat sheets and whatnot, all the concepts. So engaging with them was really genuine because that was this time that I was also going through that. So yeah, it was like someone posted like CS about CSS combinators, let's suppose. So I was like, okay, I learned that, and I felt this, and I kind of relate to what you post. So stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, cool, interesting. And so they started engaging with you because they started engaging with you. Your tweets, your comments got more impressions. People started following you. Can you explain a little bit what happened, and Yeah, just interesting to hear.
Okay, like I don't feel that way it works. What I felt like, when you start to reply to the people that are really big in the community in your early phase, if you are like uh, adding value to the comment section, people, what I feel is like, um adding value to the content that are really are already available to the platform is the first way to gain attraction, because most, you will get hundred of people in the comment section, and if any of your reply that relate to them, they'll be like clicking on your profile and reaching out and seeing like what this person is doing, and if that person is talking relative stuffs, why not just like engage with them or like connect to them. So this is the way it works. And we often notice, like if we like commented a good stuff that really makes sense, a number of like people like that comment, specific comment. Most of the time what I have seen is like the people who tweeted, he got like 50 likes, but the person who like commented a more relatable stuff, that guy got like 100 200 likes. So this is how it works.
You get ratioed when you have a great comment on a good tweet. No, exactly. Hey, and so when was the time when you started seeing like real growth on your Twitter profile? What did you do? Did you have a system, or how did you go about it?
Okay, so after spending a good amount of time on Twitter, I kind of started my content creation by writing tweets, but it was not structured. I put out a lot of threads, but it was at the same time not structured well. So it didn't work. So later on, I like tried to observe what kind of frameworks people were following. Like there are certain type of frameworks that usually goes around in the tech Twitter, and that kind of boost your engagement rate. So I tried to started to observe those kind of frameworks and implementing them in my tweets. I remember one of my frameworks that really boosted, and that was my first viral tweet, and I was like really kind of happy that a lot of people were following me, sliding in my DMs, talking about my content. Uh so yeah, frameworks really, yeah.
Nice. And can you run us through a couple of those frameworks?
Do you like really need to know about the frameworks, because you at Hypefury are really having a lot of frameworks that I am personally using, and that is working really well for me. And I know that a lot of people are really using it and enjoying the platform.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Well, I'm asking because not everybody uses iFury yet. I hope they do, of course, but still, I think even if people use another tool or our tool, I think it's still interesting to hear your view on how you started with those systems and formats. And yeah, people just like to hear it from you, I think.
Okay. So like talking about the framework, it is really important to structure your content, because even if you are posting a good content, and you are not having a proper structure, people won't come across that. And what I don't believe in Twitter algorithms, but I somehow feel like if you put out the structure content, it kind of leverage that. Uh, so like what I see is like if people are writing a big chunk of threads, what they usually do is like they just throw the content like dustbin into the thread. uh, if you are sharing for example, like if you are sharing a set of resources, try to like put the link, try to put an image for a better for the better visuals. Try to put that, try to structure your content in a way like people can easily read that, and it doesn't feel like a piece of jargon. So And the hooks are really important. When you are writing a thread, the hooks are really important. The first tweet of your thread catches the attention, and if that is not good, I don't feel like people will even think of sliding through 10 to 15 tweets put into a thread. So like when you are structuring a content, try to keep these points in your mind, and it and post a good content. Why won't it work?
Yeah, yeah, good point. And so, do you have a couple of examples of good hooks or bad hooks, things you tried that worked and didn't work?
Okay. Okay, this is taking an interesting turn. I might have to look up to some of my bad performance to it because I really don't remember. So, okay, I recently just posted a tweet that talks about the cheat sheet that I like kind of tweeted today only. So where like I first kind of gave in my hook, what I tried to gain was like I tried to gain the attention of the front end developers. uh, let's suppose I just wrote in a hook that cheat sheets for developers, let's suppose, and on the other hand someone like asks that if you are a front end developer, would you mind checking out this list of cheat sheet list that you would really love to have. So what I feel is like the second person talking about and elaborating it a little bit and showing and working towards the interest of the front end developer, people would like to go to that tweet in comparison to someone who just wrote like a cheat sheet. Because it doesn't even represents what you're talking about. So it is really like important to uh, give a little context to the viewer that that they, if they will be like going through the thread, they'll be getting this value.
Yeah, yeah, good point. Good point. And so, you started tweeting a little bit without a system. What were the things you found that really, took off? And I mean, you have 50,000 followers now. We've grown that in 6 months' time. Like, can you recall like what the big jumps were in follower growth and what you did?
Yes, like I mentioned that I was an introvert, and I kind of was a consumer. So when I started my journey as a creator, it was not a big boost. It was like kind of similar thing when I was a consumer. What worked for me and what you generally I see work for people is like engagement. When what I recommend is like and what I have seen and observed in my journey is like when you are in your early phase, try to do 80-20 rule. And what is that 80-20 rule? That is, try to engage 80%, and in your early phase try to just create 20%. Because what happens is like if you are continuously creating and nobody sees it, it even lowers down your morale also, and you will feel like it's I'm not doing a good job and I should just stop it. So try to engage, pick a niche first. Pick a niche. If you are landed on a platform, pick a niche of your interest and try to like engage with the people in that niche that are talking about what your interest lies in. So when you like start to engage with the people in your community and providing value, the value can be of any form, be it by replying to their tweets, it can be like sliding into their DMs and like appreciating the efforts that they are doing, it can be anything. So if you like continue to do that, you come across a lot of people that will find you as authentic, someone as authentic. And then you will be, if you will be putting out content, people will like to go through that and they will love to connect with you, because it's all about who is being an authentic voice to the platform. If you are trying to portray yourself as someone who you are not, it won't take a good turn. So this is the thing that I personally have observed and what I recommend.
Yeah, good points. Good points. Yeah, if you don't have a lot of followers, then focusing on your own timeline that doesn't really help, because you might get one like or two likes, but that's probably it.
Yes,
And you have to find the people that already have a big audience, add value to their timeline, and then those followers will start to check you out, as you already mentioned as well. They'll start following you, and once you gain a little bit of traction yourself, then yeah, you can slowly start to shift the 80/20 rule and start to tweet more, and maybe still engage as much, but also share a bit more content on your timeline as well.
exactly.
And so you started growing your Twitter account, and then after a while, Dasha reached out. What happened?
Okay, like before I joined Dasha, I kind of I was being exposed to an other opportunity. That was a web agency that like contacted me for creating content for the platform, and I like did it for 2 months. Yeah, I did it for 2 months, uh, but after that I felt like the environment and the work that I was expecting was not. I was like I was being assigned for creating content, but I was like shifted to some other portion, and it was really a bad practice. So I kind of dropped out, and after that there was a post that Joey put, and Joey, whenever you are looking for like job opportunities, Joey's timeline is the really best, and it is the place to go for. So once Joey put a thread which had a lot of like opportunities, talking about the developer advocates, community managers, and everything. So at that time I didn't knew what a developer advocate was. I just had an idea of what developer advocates do, but in depth I knew nothing. So I started like reading articles, blog posts, and people who are talking about DevRel. I started to like see their tweets and learn stuffs. So at a point that I like discovered that I was doing the same that a developer advocate role demands. So it was the connection that I and Dasha, the founder Vlad, we felt the mutual connection, and we like said yes to the role. And since it's been 3 months, I am being a part of Dasha.
Cool, cool. And so I guess I don't know Dasha a lot, but in my mind, it's a tool you can implement on your website, and I guess you need a developer to do it, and also you probably need the developer to probably program the conversations you can have with it or not. Can you explain a little bit how it
I
works?
would love to explain about my product. Okay. So like we at Dasha are a conversational AI as a service platform. What does that mean? That means like we are providing our platform to the developers to build conversational applications. uh, uh, like they are able to customize it on their own terms. You can integrate Dasha with any of your web application, mobile applications, anything IoT and everything else. What differentiate Dasha with others is like we don't have complex structure. It is basic JavaScript. Like if you have a basic understanding of JavaScript and you know Node, you have worked with Node.js, you can create exceptionally well conversational AI applications. And I feel like even I don't have any like experience in AI or ML stuff, and what I felt all the time was like these conversational AI or whatever that AI has associated with it, it kind of involved the machine learning and data science and technologies like that. But when I came across Dasha and like Vlad introduced me to the platform, I was really amazed. Like I was the one who was learning JavaScript at that time, and I had a pretty good knowledge about the language. So my first conversational AI application that I built was like I had literally no knowledge of AI, and I built it just with the basic knowledge that I have of the Node.js and the JavaScript. So it really helps anyone,
Nice.
be it a senior developer, be it someone a startup, anyone, they can like easily build with the technology that we are providing.
Nice, nice. And so, as a community manager, as a developer advocate, I guess it's your role to get into contact with as many developers as you can, create an atmosphere where people think, hey, this is a cool company. I want to do something with it because there are lots of alternatives to conversational AI. Like, what exactly is your role, and how do you attract developers, try to connect them with Dasha?
Okay, I feel developer advocate wears many hats, and uh, to like developer advocate term is being thrown around like it is a basic role that that any other, like being a developer or something like that. But it is a really difficult one for me, what I felt at first, but I am really comfortable right now. So what as a developer advocate we do is like we follow three C's, that is code, communicate, and we like connect with people. So so what we do at Dasha is like we work with our SDK, we try to like improve our docs. We reach out to the community people and talk about our products, gain their feedbacks, collaborate, uh, and everything that like bring interest to the people of our platform. Like we organize events, run hackathons, stuff like that.
Nice, nice. What are the things that you that really worked to connect with developers?
As in a platform.
Well, um, I guess like developers, they're all over.
Yeah.
Some are freelance, some are part of agencies, other are part of client side. Um, I don't know, like, who are you trying to attract? How are you trying to connect to them? What things like hackathons or other, I don't know, events is really a good way to attract and connect to developers?
Okay. So like our mostly interest is towards connecting to the senior developers, the developer advocates, and people who of like we are like generally targeting senior developers. Why? Because like in terms of getting feedbacks, if we like connect with people who are really good with the technology and had a great experience, like a great number of years they have worked in an agency or in a company, and they know the stuffs and how it works. So reaching out to them and talking about a product is more sincerity. So what we do is like we reach out to people of our interest, like the people who can be can try out our products, or uh, our product would be a good fit to the startups or whatever company they are working. We try to reach out to them, we try to run a demo, we talk about our product. Any kind of assistant that they need, we provide them. And in terms of events, so events are really good for any startup or company, be it developer advocate, be it community manager. Running events not only benefits the company, but it also benefits the people that are taking part in it. Because they get to learn, they get to know the platform, they get good goodies, whatever, like prizes, money prizes. So it is like working for the both sides. It's not just for the company that are running the hackathons, but it is for the people to get familiar with the technology, so that they can be like using it even if there is no hackathon. Because if they like get comfortable with the with your product, they'll be recommending it, they'll be talking about it. But if you cannot satisfy your customers, uh, no matter how good your product is, nobody will be talking about that.
True, 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 true. And so, like you talked about hackathons. What other events you would say are really a good way to connect to people? You know, I hear you say give away things, let them win things. Can you name a couple of things that worked well?
Okay, right now, like what we are focusing is like giveaways are fine, it's good, but it can't be a source that can like gain you the customer that trust your product. uh so so what we are trying to do right now is to bring people that really cares about the product and and are genuine customers. So for that, the personal communication works really well in terms of any events or the contests or giveaways, whatever there are. So like reaching out to people and talking about product is the first thing that we prioritize, because having a man-to-man conversation works very well in terms of like just announcing an event or an hack or giveaway. So first thing is that, other thing is like it is good to run an event, because that allows people to like interact with the product and build something. And we also come up with the use cases that can be, because every mind thinks different. And if you have like a number of participants that are building with your product, you will come up with a lot of use cases that even you don't would have think of. So it is really good in terms of it. And apart from that, a good content is really important. Like if you are, if you are a product, and you nobody knows about your product, so it is not a good part on your side as well. So what we prioritize is like talking about our product. We try to create a content that revolves around the product, but it is not a promotional thing for the product. It is for a goodwill of the people that should be using the technology, or that are already using the technology but they don't know a certain aspect. So our content is based on that, and not mostly plugging our product, but the technology that we are centered on, it is mostly on that.
Cool, cool, very nice. I have one last question. So, besides all the things you mentioned before, if you are interested in developing and developer frameworks, 100 days of code, if you're in that niche, what would you do if you started all over again? You know, how would you approach your account and interaction, and how would you grow it?
Okay, like if I have to start from ground zero, I won't be repeating the silly mistake that I committed in my journey. uh, for like for a Twitter profile to be like really good, it is very necessary to like make your profile stand out. And how would you do that? To do that, please don't have a username and from that 1234 whatever extra we see on certain usernames. That is really really disgusting. Don't have try to have your original name. Try to have a good picture of yours uh, that represents you. People know that this person, via your image they can recognize you. Try to have that. Try to have a decent bio that talks about what you do and what your interest lies in, apart from like putting something that is irrelevant to what it should be. Have a good Twitter header, and try to engage with the people in your niche. Pick a niche. Try to niche down, not to like crowd your timeline with a lot of people talking about different subjects, but try to pick a niche, involve with the community members, talk about what your interest lies in, and like provide value. Try to be authentic self, because Twitter is not just a community where you'll find the people who'll just support you. There are also people who are sitting just to troll you. So like there are two kinds of people you'll meet, and there will be a lot of instances that I have also faced, and I wish that you don't. Like there are some certain inappropriate instances that happens, like someone is constantly picking on you, trying to troll you, or sliding in your DMs, talking inappropriately. So in that case, like it won't hurt you to block them or mute them. Try to like maintain your mental peace, because that really matters, and those people don't even deserve your attention. So try to ignore them, because ignoring is a thing that works 100 times better than like arguing with them. So so keep those points in your mind, and like have a good set of people in your connection. Like picking the right people to follow is really important, because what you consume will what you create. So if you are consuming good content, you will be creating good content. If you are having good meaningful conversations, you'll be feeding yourself with meaningful stuff. So it really gives you an upper hand in those selections. So try to have that. And one most important part, like don't try to spend 4 5 8 hours whatever on the platform just to engage with the people when you are starting out, because that will lead to a major burnout. And I cannot like think of the scenario you will be in. So give like a certain amount of time on the platform, and when you are just a beginner, I know you'll be spending more time than the usual people do. So to reduce that time, just spend the time on the engagement stuff. And apart from that, for content creation, try to pick a scheduling tool, because the scheduling tool will like reduce a lot of time for you uh, on the platform. Because if you will be stick to the platform all the time, what other works will you even be able to do? Because we all have a life outside of the social media. So pick a scheduling tool. There are a lot of scheduling tool, but you can like go through my profile and see that I personally like use Hypefury for that. Like go for it. You don't have to do much. Just go to the platform, create an account, and you will get a lot of frameworks that I talked about in the beginning, that is really important for your like threads, tweets, whatever. You will get a lot of frameworks there. You will get a very very basic and a simple application that will help you create content, schedule it on your customized time and whatnot. Just go and explore. What I'll be telling you all the things? No, just go to the platform and like check it out and try that. And yes, and you start sharing what you're learning, what and start talking about your content creation journey. Yes, it's really important to like have an online presence at this moment, because online presence expose you to a number of opportunities, a number of good connections you will be able to build and whatnot. And I'm speaking like, and Yannick is just listening. So Yannick, please say something, or I'll keep talking about it.
No, I just keep silent until you stop. But thank you very much, Insha. Insha, this was really interesting. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Showcase. You can find me every time on Dasha community. Yeah, you can find me on these places.
Insha Ramin, thank you very much.
Thank you, Yannick.